Criminals are a cowardly bunch. They will commit various crimes, but when the heat starts to pick up, they will go into hiding like the vermin they are. Criminals will do everything possible from paying for their misdeeds. We are about to hear of one such individual. Welcome to another installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. In this installment, we will be hearing about the case of Leo Koury. This case first aired on the January 20th, 1987 special number 1 episode of Unsolved Mysteries. It was later covered in a full segment on the January 18th, 1989 edition of Unsolved Mysteries. This case was solved when it was revealed that Leo Koury died in a hospital due to his failing health. I would have preferred that he face a death penalty due to his crimes, but at least the guy is dead. Up next is the case information. Okay, here's the case information. The person's name was Leo Koury. Full name is Leo Joseph Koury. He had 2 aliases, Mike Decker and Franklin Biddle. His date of birth was July 14th, 1934. As of the televised airing of this case, Leo would have been 52 years old. As of recording this installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries, Leo Koury would have been 90 years old. The location was Richmond, Virginia. This case classification is wanted. He was wanted for murder, attempted murder, arson, fraud, and extortion. Leo has been missing since October 30th, 1978. Leo was 44 years old when he went missing. Leo Koury died when he was 56 years old. The date was June 17th, 1991. Is this case available on YouTube? Yes. You can find this under the Unsolved Mysteries uploads in Season 1, Episode 14. I will put the link to the case in the description below. The original televised air date was January 20th, 1987. However, this was the special number 1. I mentioned earlier that I think that I said it was like 1989 when the case was fully profiled. The case status. This case is solved. Leo Koury died in a hospital due to failing health. Okay, so I have the case promo. It'll give you an idea about what there is when you go to YouTube to watch the case. So here's the promo.
Racketeer Leo Koury has been charged with extortion, robbery, and murder. He has eluded the FBI for 10 years.
Okay, so when I return after these commercials, it will be with a case reading. Stay tuned.
Mr. Burdick, it is time to take inventory. I am counting.
The taxman says count it.
Burdick says sell it.
Sell.
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 We'd rather sell it than count it. It's Burdick's inventory countdown sale going on now. Everything's got to go by March 24th when our fiscal year ends. We're the largest Whirlpool dealer, so we sell it for less. This Whirlpool washer just $279, matching dryer $249.
Burdick's inventory countdown will end soon.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now is the time where I go to the Unsolved Mysteries wiki and I will read to you all the case of Leo Koury. So let's get going, shall we? So there we go. Let's get the case loaded up. And Leo Koury, there you go. Okay, so let me move my camera over so you can see what I'm going to be explaining to everybody here, or reading to everybody. Okay. Hold on 1 second here. Okay, let's do this. Hold on. There we go. And then... Okay, so... Leo Koury. Real name is Leo Joseph Koury. He had 2 aliases, Mike Decker and William Franklin Biddle. He was wanted for murder, attempted murder, arson, fraud, and extortion. He's been missing since October 30th, 1978. Details. Businessman Leo Koury was placed on the FBI's 10 most wanted for murder, attempted murder, conspiracy to kidnap, extortion, assault, racketeering, fraud, and arson. So there's a lot more there than I mentioned, which is kind of sad that this guy was able to do all of this and he was still walking around in the general population. He is a fugitive on the run. Let's see here. Hold on one second. Hold on. Ooh, I got to fix that. I don't think you're actually seeing my cursor. Hold on. Yep, it's not showing up. Hold on, let me fix it. There you go. Let's see here. He has not been seen since October 1978. On March 19th, 1975, a bodyguard and bouncer named Chuck Kernigan was reportedly murdered in his home in Richmond, Virginia. His body was placed in a trunk driven to the Rappahannock River, weighted down with the bumper from a 57 Chevrolet, and thrown off the side of a boat. This information is based on police informants, as his body has never been found. Authorities believe that Koury was responsible for this contract killing. During his time, Koury was also a softball coach. Oh, God. Nothing against softball. I mean, like, the fact that this guy was a coach, that means he was even closer to people. Jeez, I just don't like the fact that this guy, had access to people like this. Let's see. Softball coach, church volunteer. Well, what does your God say about thou shalt not kill? I think you're breaking a few of those rules there, dude. Loving husband and father, a member of the American Legion. Many who knew him were surprised to learn of his alleged criminal activities. This is the one thing that just pisses me the fuck off. How many times have you watched an episode of Unsolved Mysteries that dealt with, like, say, like a killer, or even like a child pedophile, and they're like, oh my God, we live next door to him and we never knew he could do something like that. It just drives me nuts, because I go with the mindset that everybody is capable of something. And every time I've heard one of these cases where somebody was a killer, like, I never thought he was doing something like that. He was such a nice guy. Okay. Koury was a successful restaurant owner who was fiercely competitive. Oh God, I can't remember the name of the case. I can't recall if I think I may have covered it recently. There was a case of two guys who rented business spaces in the same building. And the building used to be like a train depot or something. One guy was like a bar, and the other guy did like a pizza restaurant, if I remember correctly. And basically, they just butted heads. They could not get along. Well, the owner of the pizza shop, I think it was, he ended up getting full control of the building itself, and he evicted the other business owner. And basically, it led that one business owner to basically hire a hitman and kill the competition. That's what this reminds me of. He was one of the first to open nightclubs in Richmond that catered to the gay community. He allegedly tried to drive out competitors in several ways. First, he had Chuck, who worked for a rival bar, killed. Next, he sent thugs to terrorize the patrons of the rival establishments. On January 15, 1977, two of Koury's thugs shot multiple patrons at the Mailbox restaurant. One man, Albert Thomas, was killed and several others were injured. An investigation revealed that Koury was the center of an extensive racketeering enterprise. In other words, he ran an organization whose primary income was through illegal purposes, whether it be fraud, extortion, or murder. Oh yeah, this guy really seems like he was a nice guy. A real church-going, God-loving person. When the FBI suspected that Koury was responsible, they could not indict him because his inner circle was extremely loyal. They learned that he and his men often targeted vulnerable groups such as the local gay community as victims of his scams and extortions. In October 1977, he asked Eddie Lower to make a hit on restaurant owner Jim Hillard. His scheme backfired, however, when authorities found Lower hiding outside of Hillard's home. Lower confessed to the police and named Koury as the man who hired him. He said that Koury wanted Hillard dead to remove him from competition in the restaurant business. The thing is, if you watch the case of this, they really make it sound like they don't paint the gay community in the best of light, in my opinion. If you watch the video, basically, if this is the person that I'm thinking of, in the video, there is a gay guy who is playing pinball, and he's just playing pinball. Koury walks up to the guy, and I can't recall exactly what he says, but I'm guessing he was asking the guy if he wanted to do the hit. And the guy goes, "Yeah, I'll do it." And he's like smiling and everything. And Koury slides him the gun. Every time I watch that, it's like, dude, this does not make the gay community look that good. It literally makes the gay community look like that they're willing just to go and kill people. That you slide a gun in front of a gay guy and they'll kill people. That's what the video made it look like. However, if you read this, it seems like that he kind of pressured them and basically harassed them to the point that they would just do what he asked. Lower agreed to work with the FBI. He was equipped with a hidden microphone, and the FBI secretly recorded a conversation with Koury for their investigation. During the conversation, he told Lower, I think that's how you pronounce his name, to not tell anyone about their business. Based on the surveillance tapes, on October 31st, 1978, Koury was indicted by a grand jury on various charges, including the murders of Chuck and Albert. However, he vanished from the Richmond area on October 30th. Oh my God, a criminal acting like a criminal and fleeing? Who the fuck would have thought? I miss the days that criminals were an honorable bunch. I miss the days that when criminals would kill people and then they would just patiently wait at their house, having a nice cup of tea and waiting for the police to come in and arrest them. I miss those days of criminals. Who is really not that shocked that a criminal would fucking run? I mean, they make it sound like, oh my God, he ran. They're criminals. That's what they fucking do. Okay. Let's see here. I'll start here. The day before the indictment was made, he apparently left with $1 million or with $1 million in the trunk of his car. It has been suspected that he may have been tipped off about the charges. You think? You fucking think? On April 20th, 1979, he was placed on the FBI's top 10 or 10 most wanted list. He has been on the run ever since. Since his disappearance, Koury has been sighted on the East Coast, in Brazil, and in the Middle East. Extra notes. This case originally aired on the January 20th, 1987 special number 1 episode of Unsolved Mysteries, hosted by Raymond Burr. In an FBI 10 most wanted fugitives list, along with Donald Eugene Webb, Victor Garena, Claude Dallas, James Dice, Danny Weeks, Thomas Harrelson, and Robert Litchford. It was excluded from the film rights release of the Robert Stack episodes, but it was later added to the 14th episode of the season 1. It was covered in more detail in a full segment on the January 18th, 1989 episode. It was also profiled on America's Most Wanted. Results solved. On June 16th, 1991, a man failing health calling himself William Franklin Biddle was taken by a friend to the View County Community Hospital in San Diego, California. The next morning, he died of a cerebral hemorrhage brought on by high blood pressure. The San Diego County Public Administrator's Office was put in charge of searching for his next of kin. They learned that he lived in an East San Diego apartment for about 10 years and worked part-time at a nearby convenience store. He claimed that he was retired from the International Red Cross and had a small disability pension. However, a search of his apartment turned up no clues to his potential family members. 5 days later, the office received a call from Koury's nephew, who said that he learned from an anonymous call that Koury had died and wanted to claim the body. He said that he might have used a different name since he was a wanted fugitive in Virginia. Well, way to go. You just literally outed your family member, dude. After he gave the employee Koury's physical description, she realized that Biddle was actually Koury. She immediately contacted the FBI. Way to go, stupid! I'm not sticking up for the criminal at all. I'm just mentioning how stupid the family member is. They made a positive identification through fingerprints and officially closed the case. He was 56 years at the time of his death. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. There is a Find a Grave link here, but I do not believe in giving criminals more attention than they're deserving. The reason I'm covering this case is because this is an Unsolved Mysteries case, and that's why I'm covering it. But to me, criminals should not be remembered when they die. They're criminals for a reason. This guy did a shit ton of bad things. There is no reason why anybody should remember this guy. Let him fade into history and never be remembered again. Okay, so after the upcoming commercials, or after these upcoming commercials, I should say, it will be my final thoughts.
When you're cooking your best, nothing tastes quite like butter. Nothing bastes quite like butter. Nothing bakes quite like butter.
Butter.
Butter!
When you're cooking your best, nothing tastes quite like butter.
What does it really say about a person who dies, but he was a criminal? Is that really much to say? Do I feel bad that Leo Koury died of a brain hemorrhage? No, I do not. And the reason is simple. He's a criminal. Did Leo Koury have any compassion for the people he terrorized? Did Leo think about how the people he killed, how those deaths would impact their family? No, he did not. He simply saw them as a roadblock that needed to be removed. He viewed those people as nothing more than, disposable assets, basically. I feel that if you're going to treat people who never did you any harm like that, then when you die, you should be treated the same way. And that's why I refuse to really give him any more acknowledgement than what you saw on the Unsolved Mysteries wiki. Let the guy die. Do not feel pity for him. He felt no pity for his victims. Let him die, and hopefully he's rotting in hell where he deserves to be, if you believe in hell. Me, I'm more content that he's just rotting in the ground and his remains are feeding worms, basically. But that is it for the final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Next installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries, I present to you the sad case of Michaela Garrick. Michaela went to a Minute Mart with her friend one day, and she was actually abducted in front of her friend. To this day, Michaela has never been located. Here is a promo for that case.
In November, Michaela Garrett was abducted outside a local store. Her friend gave police an eyewitness description of the kidnapper.
Okay, so that was the case of Michaela Garrett. You can expect that case in the next installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. As always, I want to say thank you to everybody who has taken the time out of their day to watch these cases. I'm sorry if I sound like I don't really care about Leo Koury dying. I don't. I do not care that he died. I hope it was fucking painful. For everything he did to people, he does not deserve to die in a peaceful way in his sleep. No, he should die squirming on a hospital bed. If he is at a hospital, he should die squirming on a hospital bed, grabbing his head as that ambulance. What was it called? Embolism, whatever you want to call it. As it is literally destroying his brain. He should grab his head, just screaming in pain, because he caused the same people that he killed that same type of pain. Not only did he cause the people he killed pain, he inflicted a lifelong pain amongst those people's families. And because of that, I cannot feel bad that Leo Koury is dead. I cannot feel bad, and neither should you. But that is it for this installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed this video. As always, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to click the associated buttons, and you will be alerted when I release new content. I will see you for the next installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. My name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Wishing you all a great day. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out.
A few small towns in western Pennsylvania have produced more football legends than any other place. Dan Marino, Johnny Unitas, George Blanda. What is it about these towns that gives birth to such greatness? The very things that drive us at Ford. When leadership is in your blood, you push yourself to even greater heights. In fact, starting right now, you'll be seeing more new models and exciting innovations from Ford than you've seen in years.